Sandra, go back to you. This is a great discussion we're having about Canada's future here. Do you think, Sandra, that Canada does still have a future to export fossil fuels?
Well, my view is yes, because I think, for one thing, our oil sands have improved vastly over the years and how they're getting materials out of the ground in a much cleaner fashion. It's certainly around natural gas, especially. There's a whole reason that we are still promoting some pipelines, and I think we still need them. And natural gas is better than oil. In a whole bunch of areas in the north, for example, they are still heating homes with oil, with diesel. We're flying in diesel. So I think we've got a lot to do in our own country, let alone the obvious benefit to our allies. And I just want to go back for a sec on that announcement and the visit from the German Chancellor here. And he came to Newfoundland.
Right.
Any Newfoundlander could have told you that it's about time they start generating energy from the wind on that island, because it's unreal. And maybe they only haven't done it because it would blow the turbines right off of the rock. I don't know. But it is, in my view, a consistent, clean energy source that should have been tapped a long time ago. And I'm delighted to see that they would be moving on that. And if low cost energy that is also green can help the creation of new energy sources, the potential of growth for hydrogen, for example, then I'm all for it. And you're putting it in a place that frankly could use more industry and more opportunity.
Joe Oliver, what's your take on it?
Well, for a second, I thought music was playing in the background, because what Sandra was saying was music to my ears. We definitely have to, and I agree completely, export our fossil fuels, particularly gas, which has half the GHG emissions than coal does, and oil also has less. I don't know if it's 20 or 30% less. So we could do a lot to reduce net global emissions, which is the only relevant measure. It's not Canada's scorecard; it's the global scorecard, which determines whether we can deal with climate issues. And in the meantime, there's profound implications for jobs, for economic growth, for indigenous communities, all of whom, along the lines of the pipelines that were proposed, were in favor, actually, of developing it. And then we talked about energy security and helping our allies, and the advantages to the environment of doing that. So, I'm hoping that one of the few benefits out of this energy crisis that we're seeing in Europe and elsewhere in the world will wake people up, as I think they already are being awakened by the need to get back to reality. I mean, gas in particular is a perfect transition fuel, and the thing about wind and solar, as we know, they're intermittent. The sun doesn't always shine, the wind doesn't always blow, and you need backup. And the backup is provided by, if I can finish, the backup is provided. If I can finish, I guess I can't.
Sorry, Sandra, what was your point?
Yeah, it's never intermittent wind in Newfoundland. That's
Oh, okay. Yes, it's a windy province. That's fair.
right.
Yeah,
it's windy. But the point is, you need. If storage were adequate to do the job, that would be great. It isn't there yet, or even close. Someday it might be, we hope. But in the meantime, gas provides that backup, or as they say in the business, the capacity that's needed to keep the lights on and the heat or air conditioning operating. That's reality, and Canada can be an enormous help to the world and to itself if we sort of start getting real.
Sandra, we got about 30 seconds before the break. Any other thought on this topic?
No, just that I think we should put some emphasis on our American allies, because that, the more energy prices are going through the roof, or again are unstable, the more they should be relying on their partners who are actually their friends, and that is namely Canada. So the grief that we see around the pipelines with the new administration in the U.S., I think that's really difficult. It's a difficult decision for them to make, because they're goring their own ox, if you will. And I think we could help them. So yeah, Joe and I, vehement agreement. Mark your calendar, because that.
Yeah, I am marking my calendar. We're going to take a brief break. We'll be back with our guests. Please stay with us.